And CBS News Chief Washington correspondent and Face the Nation moderator John Dickerson joins us now from Washington. So, John, you also spoke with Senator Cotton about Congress's concerns that the president could still fire special counsel Robert Mueller. Are those concerns warranted?
Well, they've been toned down a little bit in the recent weeks, but a lot of people saw his criticism of Attorney General Jeff Sessions as a kind of first step in a multi-part process to get rid of the special counsel. But the president in West Virginia this week did continue to say that Mueller's investigation is a hoax, but that has consistently been pushed back on by Republicans in Congress. So there are now these two bipartisan efforts to protect him. Senator Cotton said he didn't think those efforts would go anywhere. We'll see if that's the case.
Well, John, the UN has now sanctioned North Korea once again for its missile tests. On Sunday, the president tweeted about it, saying, quote, "It is a very big financial impact." Does the president have a clear strategy on North Korea?
Well, it seems to be a strategy that's kind of carrots and sticks in the sense of his dealings with China. So the president said he's going to rely on China to work on, to put pressure on North Korea, and then has said, well, he's abandoning that. China's not doing its job. And then you saw at the same time moves by the administration to punish China for a variety of things, both its relationship with North Korea, putting sanctions on Chinese companies that do business with North Korea, then also this week beginning the process of putting pressure on trade pressure on China with respect to intellectual property rights and other things that the president had essentially said, in our interview with him anyway, that he would kind of hold off on while China was working to try to rein in North Korea. So then you see China joining with the United States at the UN Security Council, and administration officials said China was very helpful in voting for those sanctions that were just voted for in the UN Security Council against North Korea. So the strategy seems to be to kind of put pressure and then applaud when China does the right thing. All the while, of course, the Pentagon is looking into military options.
John, I also want to ask you about the new White House Chief of Staff, John Kelly. He's been on the job for almost a week now. At this early stage, is there a sense that he is bringing some stability to what's been considered a very chaotic White House?
Well, there is some stability. Of course, it was a week in which there was stability, but also the firing of the new communications director. So stability usually, particularly with respect to Donald Trump, who enjoys instability and is often the author of it because it works to his advantage. Stability is both a relative concept and something that needs a little bit of time to see if it's durable. The challenges for the new chief of staff are basically how to manage the people below the president and then how to manage the president himself. Jennifer Jacobs offered some reporting of hers about how Kelly is actually managing the president a little. He has been often the biggest obstacle to working on his own agenda. And there's some indication that that Secretary or General Kelly is having some success with the president. He certainly seems to be at the staff level.
Finally, John, there's a New York Times article that suggests Vice President Mike Pence and other prominent Republicans may be quietly preparing a possible run in 2020 if President Trump does not seek re-election. It is very early, but what are your thoughts on this? Well,
it's very early. Basically, everyone, and the vice president has issued a statement saying that the New York Times is wrong and that he's not doing anything. And if he's running in 2020, it will be as vice president. I think that what John McCain said in that piece is right, which is the president is vulnerable. He is his approval ratings are in the 30s, depending on the poll you look at. Even if you look at the Rasmussen poll, which is his favorite, he is only at 38%. Those are bad numbers. And so when politicians are in tough shape, other politicians seek to take advantage. And that's essentially what Senator McCain was saying. So there is clearly stirrings on the Republican side, but, you know, whether it's a real threat or not, we'll have to wait a little while, wait till 2018 and the elections there. And then also, presidents have been threatened from people within their own party and have survived. Incumbency is very powerful. So there's a lot of road between here and when this might actually be a problem for the president.
All right, John Dickerson in Washington. John, thank you.
Thanks, Elaine.